welcome to Alongside Lauren. I'm Lauren, and I am so thrilled that we get to hang out on this Sunday afternoon. The whole purpose behind Alongside Lauren is that while I take a few moments on my Sunday afternoon to get bits and pieces prepared for my week ahead, that you're doing the same thing. So this week, I have had a bit of a focused fridge clear out, which is the purpose behind today's shepherd's pie that we're going to be dining on this week. So there's lots of different bits and pieces that were kind of ooh, languishing, for lack of a better term, in my fridge, freezer, and pantry that we have used to inspire us to create what I'm really hopeful is going to be a delicious shepherd's pie. So I have had the mix for the shepherd's pie cooking away on my stovetop for probably 2.5 hours or thereabouts. Oh, and this is my sous chef,
Hello.
Heath,
Hi
also
there.
known as my husband. And so we've had the shepherd's pie mix just cooking away. I think I'm going to have to increase the heat on it just a smidgen
Mm.
because I put too much liquid in, which is fine. So we do just need it to reduce a little bit so that we don't just end up with mashed potato or top soup when we put it into the oven, and then
Fair
it
enough.
becomes a
Yeah.
little bit more shepherd's pie like. But while that sort of bubbles away and while that reduces, I am going to get crack-a-lacking on the mashed potato ish, which is going to be going on top of the shepherd's pie because, as I've said, this has been all about a fridge clear out this week. So we've also got a few potatoes, a few sweet potatoes. I'm kind of going to see how much it all adds up to when I put it in there. And if I need to, I can put some pumpkin in as well. I know it's a little bit crazy putting 3 types of root vegetables into the mash to go with our shepherd's pie, but I reckon we're going to be able to handle it. So we'll be all good. Technically, this is a cottage pie rather than a shepherd's pie because I haven't used lamb. I have used beef. Actually, more specifically, I have used some disappointing brisket that we had in the freezer that we'd cooked
Yeah.
from a couple of weeks ago. It was fine. The brisket was from a yearling, so it just meant that it
Didn't have a
didn't.
lot of fat.
No, it didn't have a lot of fat and
Mm.
it didn't have a lot of that connective tissue that you have
Yeah.
traditionally, or typically, I guess you should say, in a brisket, which is what gives it that sort of like sticky, delicious
Yeah.
unctuousness.
Mm.
So it cooked, it was fine, it was perfectly edible, but it was just not quite as tender and briskety
Yeah, that's right.
as what
Yeah.
we would like.
Didn't fall apart too
No.
much. It was pretty tough.
So we cut it down into cubes and then popped a few of those, or sort of popped it into sandwich bags and popped them in the freezer to help us to use for the basis of meals such as the shepherd cottage pie. No, shepherd's pie. I'm going to go with that. Whatever I was trying did not work. The shepherd's
All
pie.
right. While we're laughing, I think it's important that we have a wine.
Yes, absolutely. Because
So-
then it would seem that there's a purpose for me to be laughing instead of
So-
just seeming like a loon.
I see that there's a red out on the bench.
There is not currently a white.
There's not a white,
There
so
isn't
we're
one in the
having
fridge.
a red. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Should we put something in? No, it'll be fine.
No. This is good.
Excellent. So
Wily Rooster. It's
excellent.
a Merlot.
It's a Merlot.
A Merlot.
Merlot. Now, before. Oh no, I'll get the bits and pieces happening with the shepherd's pie. I've also
Sure.
got that corned
Yep.
meat that I need to take out of the
Yeah,
slow cooker.
yeah, great. At some point, we will definitely
the
show
day
you.
the day that Heath and I never
has
thought
been
was
going on.
going to come finally came, and we used up all of the ham that we had in the
Yes.
freezer. That was ham from a ham that we got at Christmas that we,
Well, we got a
had
little bit
with
after
the
Christmas,
family.
didn't we?
And
Was
then
it-
we got,
was it a bit on
and then we bought
special?
another ham that was on sale, that we did with brunch
Mm.
for family on the 26th of January.
Yes.
So it was, oh, bless you.
Cheers. Cheers.
Mm. Mm. As far as Merlot
Yeah, it's
goes,
good.
it's quite
Yeah,
good.
it's good. All right. Okie dokie.
Now,
So yes, we finally got through the ham.
we finally got through the ham.
We had other meat frozen ready to go, so here it is.
Yeah. So So I am preparing a corned meat that we are
Ah,
going
yes.
to slice up that we'll use on our wraps and sandwiches and what have you for breakfast, for
For
lunches for the next
lunches.
few weeks, which is
Mm.
fantastic. We had this week because we didn't have well, as I said, very excitingly that we had run out of ham. Woo! We had egg and lettuce sandwiches that were just I don't know what it is about an egg and lettuce sandwich, but it was just like I could have written poems about how good the egg and lettuce sandwiches were. Seriously, they were spectacular. It
I
was the
think
highlight of my
ChatGPT could have
day.
written
Yeah, I
poems.
know, and probably has. So enough about the egg and lettuce sandwiches. So we had at our supermarket, they had corned meat on sale. It was for 10.99 a kilo, which is pretty good. And so I have just had it cooking merrily away in our slow cooker. I've found for me that my the way that I prepare corned meat has become more and more pared back as time has gone on. I remember that I had come across some tip on some Northern Hemisphere based website that had suggested cooking corned meat in ginger ale. Like I've done,
Oh,
ooh, it
yeah.
was it was not to my palate. We've done all sorts of things, but what I have found works best is I just put the corned meat into the slow cooker with garlic, a bay leaf, onion, and carrot with a bit of celery, and that's it. No liquid, no anything else. It just goes on. I cook it away until it is relatively pokeable with a fork, which we are at that stage now.
We're at Pokeball.
We're at pokeable. So you don't
Wonderful.
want to take it too far so that ends up being like shredded or like pulled beef almost,
Mm,
which I don't think is delicious
sure.
with corned meat. And then that's it.
Okay.
So the secret that, well, not secret, but if you're going to be slicing it for sandwiches, what works really well is if you actually refrigerate it before you slice it, if you've got the time. And when you refrigerate it, if you can, put in some of that beautiful cooking liquid. And so when the what you need to remember is that meat, I'm sorry to say this, but it's protein, it's muscle.
Mm.
And so when it has the opportunity to cool down and to relax, then that is going to take up the cooking liquid as well. And so what you'll end up with is really tender, moist meat, which is perfect. And it's exactly what you want
Mm-hmm.
when you are talking about sandwiches and wraps. So not entirely necessary if you're going to be like serving it hot with veg and with your regional white sauce or anything like that.
Regional white sauce.
Regional white sauce.
Oh, this looks dangerous. All right, going in.
The lady with the white top has some concerns
The
about how
fork
this
was a
is
good
going to
move.
go. And let's just marvel at how perfectly shaped.
It is a good shape. It's very boxy.
It was I did as ridiculous as it sounds, I did like I don't think the shirt's gonna survive this.
Oh dear.
Um so I'm just gonna fish out. Before I have kept this like veg that you kind of use for making stock and what have you. We've had quite a bit of stock veg
Mm. Mm.
in the freezer and
Yeah, that
like
looks a bit sad, doesn't it?
it's kind of given up everything that it's given up its life already
Yep.
for this corn meat, and I think asking it to do anything else is just going to be a bit of an imposition.
Well, you've already used a lot of the juices for
I
something
have,
that
I
we'll be able to show you
have, I
about very soon.
have. So I'm
Mm.
just going to get this
Mhm.
into pour. Yeah, I'm gonna.
Well, you do that. I'm just gonna drink
You do
this.
that. I'm gonna
No,
cross
no.
my fingers for
Would you
my.
like me to help?
I think it's all right. I'm just
You
crossing
good?
my fingers for my top. I
All right.
think by taking out the veg,
Yep, that's made it a bit less
that made it a bit
plonky.
less splashy.
Yep, makes sense. All right, I'll give you some space here, hey?
Perfect. We'll just set that to the
There we
side.
are. Grab my wine again. Very important.
Yes, it's also very important. Making sure that that is turned
Mhm.
off.
Mm-hmm.
We might have pulled something out of the slow cooker a couple of weeks ago
Yeah, and
and had
didn't turn
forgotten
off
to turn
the.
it off.
All right. Do you reckon it's a little bit smaller on its side? Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there we
Good
go.
stuff. Okay.
So I'm just going to pop that in the fridge, and we've got people coming over for Bible study tonight, and I reckon by the time everyone leaves,
Yep.
which will hopefully be by 8, love you all if you're listening.
Yes.
Um,
Yep.
and then I'll
All
be
right.
able to give it a slice. So that's perfect.
Great.
So, so as he said, I did use some of that cooking liquid in another dish. So do you reckon now is a good time
Now would be
maybe
a great
to
time to go through
yeah, I'll
what we got up to.
take you through the process of making the base for my using up the stuff that's left in the fridge shepherd's pie.
Here we go.
So this is my variety of the stuff that I've pulled out. So we've got carrot, zucchini, onion, the end of a jar of garlic, some really quite sad celery. That then, thanks to the magic of Heath, television, got all chopped up, and then we banged it into the Thermomix. What I've got there is 250 grams of red lentils and 2 tins of tomatoes. And that is the smushed veg, very technical term.
Smushed veg.
The smushed veg.
Oh, yes.
And this is me using up the end of a bottle of white wine.
This is a great use of wine.
Into the end of the jar of garlic. Gave it a good shake.
That bottle of wine was a little bit fizzy.
Yeah.
It shouldn't have been.
It shouldn't have been.
Anyway.
So it was good to use that up. And a couple of tablespoons of the veggie stock concentrate that we know and love there. So what I've done is I ladled out some of that cooking liquid from the corned meat, which is just so full of flavour. And normally I love putting in a few slices of corned meat into my shepherd's pie, cottage pie, because it's such a great flavour. So I cooked that veg that I had chopped down, and I'm just adding it into that mix of the tinned tomatoes
and lentils,
and also just adding in that cooking liquid.
Yeah.
From the
which is kind of like a stock, I guess, isn't it? Yeah. Nice.
And so that's about 800 grams of the cooked and chopped up brisket.
Mm-hmm.
And because it has been smoked, it will taste spectacular.
Yeah.
It's just got such a wonderful flavour in there.
Absolutely.
And now you're up to date.
And you're up to date. Yes.
With what's happening there. So I need to get crack-a-lacking on this mix, which is going to go on top.
All right. Sure. Cheers to that.
Every time.
Good luck.
So
okay.
So
we're preparing some sweet potatoes.
Yes, and we've got some potatoes.
Regular potatoes.
Do you want to?
Which one do you want me to do? I can do the regular potatoes.
Yeah,
I can peel them.
That'd be great. And I will, because now we've got two peelers. What richness!
Wow. Do you want the good one?
Sure.
Where's the other one? I got it.
Well done.
All right, cool. So we're both on peeling duty.
I'm just going to give this a quick stir.
Which is exciting.
Is it though?
We had another run this morning. Ran pretty much as fast as we ever have, so that's pretty exciting. Getting some speed up. The weather was actually pretty good for it this morning. So.
It's spectacular.
Yeah, a bit of a cool breeze.
I love this time of year.
Yeah, it's a good time.
Okay, it's reducing, but it's getting a bit ploppy.
And we got some time with family yesterday, which was also really nice.
So good.
Some of my family celebrating a birthday in the Brisbane area.
Yeah, it's fantastic. And did a visit to Costco.
Oh yes,
which was good. So
yep, which was well overdue. We had hoped to get to Costco on a previous visit out sort of west because it's the Ipswich one that we tend to go to.
Yeah, but just went over. Oh, that's a great job with that potato.
Oh, gee.
That was.
And how about finishing off my muffin?
I know that was unintentionally condescending. Sorry, darling.
I suspect not many people understood our finishing off
that
the
is
muffin reference. It's a How I Met Your Mother reference.
No, it's not. It's 30 Rock.
Really?
Yes, it is.
Okay. Really?
Really. It's the episode where Liz Lemon's family come and visits,
Yeah.
and Jack is spending time with them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. For some reason, I thought Marshall got that compliment.
Nope.
I don't know why.
That's okay.
All right. Well,
Well,
educated.
that must have been
Educated.
thrilling for everyone else.
Oh, yeah.
Continuing to
This is the beauty of live.
kill the sweet.
just-
Well, I don't know if it's the beauty of the live or it's just the beauty of conversations with Heath and
A
Lauren.
little bit of warts and all.
I don't have warts. Nearly finished peeling the
We
sweet
would
potato.
love to know what you guys are up to in preparation for your week. Always keen to know what tips
Or
and
if
tricks you
you've got
have.
other like great recipes for cleaning. I think I'm just gonna give up on that and chop the bit out.
Fair enough.
Or if you've got other recipes that tend to be a go-to for you when you're sort of doing a big clear out of the fridge. The other thing which is going to be great to go alongside this particular recipe is using it as an opportunity to clear out the fridge for the veg that we'll serve on the side. So we've got some broccoli, we've got corn in the fridge that I'm going to prep to go with it.
Wow. So you guys would have seen how many vegetables went into the mixture in advance. So
Yeah.
this is going to be a veggie-packed week.
Oh, yeah. No one is getting scurvy on my watch.
No. Not this week.
So the other thing that we're going to be using up that we have had in our fridge is going to go with the mashed potato.
What's that?
And when we had, so last week we had vegetarian lasagna. And with the vegetarian lasagna, we had some homemade ricotta.
Ah, yeah.
And when you make ricotta,
You are left with a heap of whey.
Yep.
The liquid component of separating the milk and the solids. Sorry, the liquid from the solids of the
milk
milk.
from the solids, yeah.
Yeah.
So whey, it's apparently really nutritious. I don't know, but it is a great sort of alternative to use in some recipes for some things as like instead of milk. It's great to use instead of buttermilk in recipes, which is what I have sort of been doing. I've also used it instead of milk when we've had porridge, and it's tasted like it hasn't tasted weird.
Yep. Yeah, somehow you maintain a bit of creaminess in the flavor profile, despite it having no cream.
Yeah. So
it is pretty
very
weird.
little fat. So yeah. So the particular recipe that I use for mashed potato on the Thermomix cooks the mashed potato in milk. So I will be cooking it in the whey instead.
Cool.
Well, that's my plan anyway. So we need a kilo worth of potato, but we're going to be using that mixture of sweet potato and normal potato. And if we need to call in the cavalry and add in some pumpkin, that is also an option.
Now, Lauren told me a few weeks ago that I need to be a little bit better at this. I need to put these in the wash once we've used them so that we're not reusing them. These are the bags that we had our potato and sweet potato in. So I'm going to take them out to the laundry so that we don't poison ourselves.
Thank you for listening, darling. I appreciate it. Did you want to get some time while you're out there?
Yeah, I can do that.
That'd be great. All right. So we need a kilo. Let's see how much the sweet potato is coming to. Nearly 300 grams. It's not too bad. And then adding in the potato as well. We've got our fruit and veggie delivery coming this week, which is also a really good reason to just get some of this stuff out, and much better for it to go into a delicious meal than for it to be wasted. I think we're going to come close. But the question is, can I be bothered cutting up a pumpkin? Decisions, decisions. All right, I'm like 75 grams short, which is hardly worthwhile cutting up the whole pumpkin for. So let's improvise and let's add in a carrot. So I'm 75 grams short.
Oh, okay.
Which
so what does
hardly
that mean?
seems worthwhile cutting the whole pumpkin for that.
So you're just gonna.
I thought I'd add in a carrot.
Yep. Okay. All right. I have time.
Perfect.
It's time.
Time.
Mm.
Excellent.
I'm just gonna rest it down
Great.
here and start. Do you want it de-stemmed?
Eventually, but not yet, because it
Okay.
we'll sort of pop it in once we've done once the mash is mashed, I guess.
Mhm.
Perfect. All right. Do you want to either cut up bread or cut veggie sticks for Bible study while I finish
Okay,
this?
I'm gonna start on the bread, and we'll go from there. Which is it? It's this one.
Alrighty.
Good enough.
Ah,
Oh, bang on.
999.
Ah, good enough.
It'll do.
Definitely good enough. Oh, my hands smell good.
Oh, your hands smell amazing. I love the smell of thyme.
Yeah, it's a good smell. It's a good smell.
Okay, now the recipe calls for salt, but we will be adding in veggie stock concentrate.
As you always do.
Yeah, it's such a good way to boost flavor. I think any vegetable content that it adds is minimal. But it will taste great.
Oh, this is one of those loaves. Awesome.
Oh, sorry.
No, it's fine.
I don't bother with cutting it in half. I think that will just add complexity. Oh. And now we need 350 grams of milk. So that's where we're going to add in 350 grams of whey. So this is me?
No.
Okay.
But that's fine.
No, I haven't had anything out of it yet.
Oh, you haven't? Oh.
No. All right, 350 grams.
Yeah, so it's a bit of a weird color. Looks a bit
Well,
like
it just looks
Solo.
like the stuff. Oh no, it looks like the stuff that you find on top of your yogurt.
Yogurt, which is what it is, right?
Well, effectively, yeah, because that's whey.
Hmm.
But there's nothing too weird about it.
But the stuff in the yogurt I find is a little bit more slimy.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean?
Maybe?
Whereas this is very water-like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if viscous is a better word than slimy. Ugh. Okay, let's just switch a Rooney.
Is that one mine?
Mm-hmm.
Cool. The classic
Now, this is the process where I know that it's all going to come undone and I'm going to have to readjust things.
Why do you say that?
Oh, because every time I've made the mashed potatoes, it has a conniption.
Right.
And it somehow manages to jiggle the...
Oh, yes. Yep, without fail. It does, the butterfly whisk does pop off, which is a bit annoying. Might be a trick to it. You might be able to, like, stick something in there that just holds it down.
It's not a trick that I've come up with yet.
It's also a tad risky.
I'm probably against the warranty. All right, so while Heath gets cracking with slicing that bread... You're doing such a good job of it.
Slicing is one word.
Massacring, these are all options. I will slice up those veggie sticks.
Goodness me. All right, well, we are getting there. It is a labor of love cutting this bread up.
Well, we're
because
very
I
grateful.
know I'm going to love it when I eat it later. But at the moment, it just doesn't want to play nice.
All right, well, so far so good.
Good. We'll just keep an eye on it. And hopefully...
Well, actually, maybe I'll cut up veg first, like that we're actually going to be eating for the...
For the week? You keep on going for that one.
I don't know. I don't know why. You watch. The second I'm not watching it...
Yep.
It will go silly.
All right.
So we've got broccoli. I just realised that I'm just working through a whole bunch of things in my head and have not said anything for a while.
It's been pretty silent.
Yep.
So,
we've got some capsicum, zucchini, corn, and broccoli that we're going to use on the side of our shepherd's pie this week. Because we haven't had enough veg yet. Yeah. The broccoli is a bit lackluster. It's still edible, but I don't think it's actually going to taste very nice steamed. So what I'm going to... So see how, like, it's fine, but it's got a little bit of odour. Like, it just smells a bit farty.
It does smell a little bit. So tips on getting that back to life?
Sorry, less farty. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to roast it. And we'll just heat it, still heat it when we heat up the rest of the veg. But I'm hopeful that by roasting it, we'll just add another dimension of flavour.
Yep.
And we'll just take some of that cruciferousness away. So I'll just keep slicing it. But no, apologies that you had to have just dead silence while I tried to figure out what to do with the slightly stinky broccoli. Very classy.
It's not that bad. Yeah. It's pretty mild.
Oh, like I said, still perfectly edible, but
yep.
There's no reason why you need to labor through the veg. Like, you want it to be delicious.
Enjoyable. Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to include the stems in there. So I'm just cutting the woody bits off the side. I know.
Stem maneuver. Keeping them in there. That's mine.
Just slicing those florets.
So that's got 24 minutes.
Yep.
So I'm wondering whether we should provide some photos and maybe a bit of video.
So, and maybe a bit of video when it comes out, when it comes time for the shepherd's
when
pie
it goes
topping
together,
process.
and then when it comes out. Yep.
And maybe what the fixed up broccoli looks like in the end as well. But it has been such a pleasure spending some time with you this afternoon while Heath and I get bits and pieces prepared for our week.
Yeah.
I know that this is going to make our week run so much smoother. And I hope that you have also found that opportunity to do a few bits and pieces this afternoon that is going to make your life easier this week as well. And we can't wait to do it all again next week on Alongside Lauren.